2008 Ford Fusion, engine light on, no power, loads of black smoke. I've got an idea what it is. I can hear like a hissing, some sort of intake leak, so I'm guessing we're going to be having some maybe turbo EGR valve fault, pressure fault, something along them lines. We'll plug it in and we'll see. I don't know if you'll hear this, but when I put my foot down you can hear a hissing. It might not come through on camera. Hopefully it does, and it sounds like it's coming from the driver's side. I can't see anything from the top, but hopefully from underneath. We've also got a knocking, banging noise coming from the driver's side. It's most probably a broken spring or something along them lines. See if we can make it do it. Nope. Typical. Welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Now 2008 Ford Fusion, we got the engine light on, we got a load of black smoke. It's underpowered, it's just not pulling like it should do. We've obviously got some sort of intake leak somewhere, that's what it sounds like. I haven't plugged it in yet, but load of black smoke. I can hear hissing. It's as if it's not coming on boost properly, and that's why we're getting a lot of black smoke and we're getting underpowered essentially. So what we're going to do is we are going to put it on some ramps and we're going to see underneath it what the story is. Sorted. Right, I'm going to rev this up and hopefully you're going to see the black smoke. There we go. You can see that black smoke, quite bad, and we can hear a hissing coming from the engine. Right, we've got a few codes. This is what I'm more concerned about, this one. Right, just as I thought, turbo boost charge, EGR valve, mass. It's all to do with the intake side of things, just as I thought. Lovely. So I'm going to test it. I'll put all the information in here. Let's go inside the car and do it. Right, so continue. Oh, number plate. Just that'll do. Oh, I need to read the temperature of the battery. Right, I've just done a thing of the battery. It says good, but it needs a recharge. So we'll do a system test. This car's been sat for a while. Make sure hand clamp is around, yeah. I just need to take it off so it can zero the amp clamp. Next, zero. Put it back on. Let me put it back on. Right, it is back on. Start vehicle. Leave it running. Ensure everything is off. Next, it's testing the ripple of the alternator now. We need to rev it up in a second. Yeah, rev it up. There we go, it's in a sweet spot. Next, turn to idle, that was my own fault. Next, turn everything on. Full beam, heaters. Next, rev it up again in a minute, I think. Yeah. Hold engine. Turn everything off. Battery needs a charge. Cranking amps is good. Current range, or the current crank is good, that's okay. Charging. 50 millivolts of a ripple, that's okay, that's all good. Okay, and yeah, it just needs a good charge. Right, I was looking and looking and looking and couldn't see any pipes broken, torn, whatever, no cracks, no nothing, but I could hear the intake leak. So I decided, because I thought it was kind of this area, that's what it sounded like when I was driving. So I decided to take off the air filter, because the air filter kind of hides a lot of the stuff. And when I took it off, you see all the black death. And we see, oh, let me get the light on. We have an injector leak, definitely one, number 3, but possibly more than one, but definitely number 3. I'm going to replace them all. But you can just see how bad it is down there. So I'm going to get, I really wasn't expecting an injector leak, because I'll start the engine now and you'll hear it doesn't sound like a steam engine. It's only when it comes under pressure. But I took it for a really hard drive and I started seeing kind of smoke coming from here, because it's coming from the engine. And that's also what made me take it off. This has been to a few other garages and they couldn't find it. Don't ask me why. Ticking over, it's fine. I put my hand here and I can feel, you can actually see that. Is that going to come off? We get closer, start seeing some smoke. But definitely this one. The other 3 seem okay, but definitely number 3. We give this a good clean now so we can see a lot better. Read this up for me. I think it's the seals on the intake manifold. Okay. Right, I did a bit of cleaning and I was thinking this doesn't really look right. What I thought was black death, it was too wet. I put my hand here, it's too wet, it wasn't really hard like black death. And then I did a bit more looking and I've actually found a slightly different problem. I was thinking when I was driving, I wasn't really looking at the injectors because it didn't really sound like injectors. Even though when I put my hand here, I can see, or I can feel kind of the air coming back through. But I could feel like a rush of air, like more of an intake leak. And that's what I originally thought it was, and actually now it is. If we go under here, behind here, you can see the intake there compared to that one and that one. It just looks completely and utterly different. There's a big gap around there. I don't know if that's the seal actually there, is it? Is that the seal there? Anyway. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a bit of brake clean on here and see what happens when the engine's running. There we go. So instantly, as soon as I squirt brake clean there, bang, we've got an intake leak like I originally said. Right, so it was worth actually just doing a few more checks just to be 100% sure. Now, I would have to have taken this off anyway to get to the injectors, but I just did a few more checks, and then you can clearly see down here, it's number 3. I was still right, it was number 3 that was leaking, but I've got them all coming from Ford, because as soon as you take this out, you can bet your life they're all going to break or go hard or anything like that. You do have to also be careful because they're a bastard to get in, because they can roll up and they can break as you're trying to force it in, because there's a lot of pressure on it. And I'm going to have to take this whole thing off to get to didn't see you, Brian. You need to get your fingers in more. Is that what she said? Oh, 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 oh.
He doesn't have the capacity to say I was wrong, or, you know.
I wasn't wrong. I said number 3 was leaking. I actually originally said on the video, and you'll see, I said it was an intake leak.
Just so
I
you know,
originally said.
No, girls, behave yourselves.
I originally said, do you want to be on camera?
No, fuck off.
Well, shut the fuck up then. Yeah.
He shut the fuck up. There's like 2 bitching women there.
Says the person who's too scared to go on camera. Like a little bitch.
That's because I have too many followers already.
Yeah. Too many people looking for you, more like.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I use that then?
So it was just worth my while just doing a few more checks and actually doing it. So yeah, I'm going to have to replace all them 4 seals. And we should have, like I said, when I was driving it, I said even at the beginning of the video it was some sort of intake leak, because it just didn't sound like an injector. I wasn't really, just when I saw that black crap and I put my hand here and I could feel all the air coming here. But anyway, the old brake clean test showed us exactly that's what it is. So we're going to now order the parts up from Ford, and we're going to get this, but at least we've now diagnosed it properly. Other garages couldn't, don't ask me why. And so we'll call it quits for that, and we'll do the next video as the fix. So as always, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, links down below, but most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted.